chapter, why can't we have Israel's policy on immigration? That's a country that knows how to defend its borders. That would be good for them, good for us, fantastic for us. They'd have us, their biggest, best buddy in the whole world, right next to them on one whole side.
Well, Obama's president, so not for long on that one.
That's right. We have to get rid of the anchor baby policy. I also think we need to repeal. I want it retroactive. Incidentally, in the news all now is this El Chapo, the biggest drug cartel leader. He's in my book. He's married to an anchor baby who a couple of years ago flew back to California to give birth to her own 2 anchor babies. As soon as, at your expense, as soon as she had given birth to her 2 anchor babies, she flew right back to join El Chapo, who replaced, I think, Osama bin Laden on Interpol and the FBI's most wanted list. And, how did he escape from prison? Well, because in Mexico, the cartels own the prisons. Forget California. That's your future, America. So, as I describe in my book, is that the anchor baby policy was a footnote in a Justice Brennan opinion in 1982. This does not go back to, the Reconstruction Amendments. The 14th Amendment was about one thing, again, utterly insulting to black Americans. The 14th Amendment, why was that passed? So that someday La Raza could usher across Mexican women who were 8.5 months pregnant. They could drop a baby and say, "Ha, you didn't catch me. I'm an American citizen now." No, people don't put trap doors in a constitution. A secret trap door. Ooh, this will surprise them. To get an amendment passed, you need a mass feeling about a big thing. We had just fought a civil war to force, again, the Democrats, to stop enslaving blacks. The 14th Amendment is absolutely exclusively about black Americans. That's what it's about. And by the way, it's not about gay marriage either. But they're at least gay Americans. Here we're talking about people who've never set foot on U.S. soil before, playing a game of Red Rover with our Border Patrol for the most precious possession in the universe, citizenship in this country. No, that is not how you get American citizenship. But Obama elected in the first place. He could not have been elected without the post-1970 immigrants who have been voting 8-2 for the Democrats. Without the 1965 Immigration Act, Romney would have won a bigger victory against Obama than Reagan did against Carter in 1980. I think probably some of you were as surprised as I was the day at 3 a.m. election night. I thought he was going to win that. We'll get used to saying that a lot more. I thought we were going to win that election. What happened to that state? How did we get Obamacare? Well, Al Franken was the 51st vote for Obamacare. How did he win? Well, he cheated, but he wouldn't have been within shouting distance of cheating but for 100,000 Somalis now living in Minnesota, who were instructed by the first Muslim congressman, Keith Ellison, you must all vote for Al Franken. Without Obama as president, we wouldn't have Sonia Sotomayor. We wouldn't on the Supreme Court. We wouldn't have Elena Kagan on the Supreme Court. All these losses didn't have to happen. So whatever you think the most important issue is, it's not. I mean, even now, I get this sense, and from talking to people, you run into Democrats, and especially working class Democrats, saying, I have had it. The Democrats have gone too far. This hysteria over, taking down Confederate soldiers and changing the name of the Jefferson Monument and the fake rape cases and Obamacare and gay marriage. That's it. I'm voting Republican. Hellfire will rain down on these Democrats. Well, that might well happen, but Americans are about to be outvoted by other voters, by foreign voters the Democrats have brought in. Now, that's only talking about the political aspect, because I'm assuming this audience cares about the political aspect, and why should you care about this issue more than anything else, certainly if you're a Republican. But it's more than that. In order to bring in voters who will vote 8-2 for the Democrats, we're bringing in extremely primitive cultures, and this is most of what my book covers. In order to make it short and very readable, 100 pages of footnotes is way shorter than it looks. You got to read it. I ended up cutting 200 pages a month before we went to press. But what I wanted to keep in, and I thought it was important to keep in, were gang rape, child rape, incest rape. We are bringing in peasant cultures. It happens that Latin America is the peasant culture closest to us, but that's not the only one. Oh, no. These are very common behaviors, as are driving drunk and dumping your crap on the ground. I mean, it is changing our culture in ways that the rich don't experience. It's never coming to Nob Hill in San Francisco. It's probably not coming to Newport Beach. It's not coming to Park Avenue. No, they just get the cheap maids. While Americans are the ones bearing the cost, not only in terms of taxes, in their schools being overburdened, in massive, school lunch programs, the hospitals are going bankrupt. No, it's ordinary Americans who are paying the cost, and most of all, I would add here, are African Americans. I mean, has anybody in the media checked with, or as I've recently been instructed to stop saying African Americans, American blacks? Because that is what I mean. I'm not talking about a guy whose father is a Kenyan. American blacks.